Thank God it is Friday. Welcome to the entire crypto crew. What it do? In today's show, we'll be discussing Bitcoin price can gain 60%, hitting $40,000 if this textbook chart pattern confirms. I'll be breaking down the latest technical analysis and quoting Max Kaiser, Bitcoin price is meaningless. It's all about the hash rate for the only perfect money, and hash rate hits yet another all-time high. Also in today's show, U.S. House Committee releases a new stablecoin bill draft. That's right, it can become the first example of crypto legislation in the United States. Also breaking news, Binance US suspends USD deposits and warns of fiat withdrawal pause. And doesn't stop there. Also Crypto.com suspends US institutional exchange service. So another reminder, if you got your crypto on the exchanges, remove it ASAP. Also, Gary Gensler says the crypto market is like the 1920 stock market, full of fraudsters. In fact, he says crypto is all hucksters, fraudsters, and scam artists. Also in today's show, bring on the uncertainty, reckons ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood. She says she still predicts $1 million Bitcoin by 2030. In fact, in a recent interview on Squawk Box, she shared the following: our base case Bitcoin price is $600,000 plus, and our bull case is more than $1 million by 2030. We believe that all of our funds, which have been hurt badly by interest rates going up, are going to benefit by the deflationary ramifications. She also says that the more uncertainty and volatility there is in the global economy, the more our confidence increases in Bitcoin. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market, all this, plus so much more in today's show. And welcome to everyone just tuning in. This is podcast episode number 1307. I'm your host, JV, and TGIF. Today is June 9th. 2023, and checking out the market watch here. As you can see on your screen, we got a slight correction taking place right now with Bitcoin barely in the red, trading just under 26,500. Also Ether in the red, trading at $1,840. Cardano in the blood red, down 5%, trading at just above 30 cents. And also BNB down about 0.25%, trading at $262. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap is sitting just on the cusp of 1.1 trillion with 25 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance at 46.6% and the Ether dominance at 20.1%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, Pepe, the fearless frog, leading the pack up 7%, followed by Render Token up 6%, followed by SUI up about 3%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, the biggest loser is Hex, down 17.5%. We have Pepe up 5% and RNDR up 5.3%. We also have PLS down 6%. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're dead in the middle again, rated a 50 in neutral, the same as yesterday and the same as last week. And last month was also a 52 in neutral. So there you have it. How many of you are currently bullish on the King Crypto and have been taking advantage of this dip? Let me know in the comments right down below. And now let's break down today's Bitcoin technical analysis and check out the charts. Bitcoin may be in line for a 60% upside if long-term chart features stay intact. That's right, with Bitcoin still wedged in a narrow trading range it entered almost 3 months ago, market participants have little to go on when it comes to the short-term price target, so day-to-day performances have offered no decisive trend up or down, and 30,000 remains formidable resistance overhead. The market is still in the same position it's been in the past few days. Don't get chopped up. Place some bids at the extremes and wait, says trader Jelle. Stay focused on the higher time frame direction. And for Milky Bull Crypto, those higher time frames point to some much more interesting price action around the corner. If we check out the weekly chart, which shows us retesting an inverse head and shoulders pattern, this is the bullish counterpart of the standard head and shoulders pattern, which shows resistance being cemented and is typically followed by downside. And while the daily time frames have seen a bearish head and shoulders pattern materialize around April's 31,000 local highs, the broader trend may yet play out in the bulls' favors. Quoting Milky Crypto here, Bitcoin is flashing a textbook inverse head and shoulders on the weekly time frame. Price is currently retesting the neckline after the breakout. As taught, if the range between the head and neckline is usually the sprint, we are anticipating another 60% rally on BTC. Now that 60% sprint would take Bitcoin to around the $40,000 mark. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst. Now for Crypto Calio, he had continued to describe 40,000 as a magnet for the market, while the price had preserved key support trend lines throughout the 3-month range. In a prediction this week, fellow trader and analyst Credible Crypto said 40,000 would not form the ceiling for Bitcoin in 2023. Quoting him here, expectations the Bitcoin halving is in April 2024. Expect Bitcoin to go sideways between 20 to 40,000 for about 12 months, which is when we accumulate as much Bitcoin as we can. Once the halving hits, we start our next bull run to 100,000 plus in 2025, he told his followers. However, the reality, Bitcoin makes a new all-time high in 2023, leaving the majority sidelined, and not everyone is going to make it. Very bold prediction for new all-time high this year in 2023 for the King Crypto. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Credible Crypto. And quoting Max Kaiser, price is meaningless. It's all about the hash rate for the only perfect money. That's right. Hash rate precedes the price. And when we have new all-time high hash rate and difficulty adjusting to all-time highs, that is good for the price action of the King Crypto. So TikTok, next block. And now for our next breaking story of the day, and that's a new stable coin draft bill, which could provide some regulatory certainty in the crypto markets. Let's break it down. United States House Financial Service Committee released the third draft of the stablecoin bill presented by its chair, Representative Patrick McHenry. The latest draft of the bill is bipartisan and includes specific proposals from Republican and Democratic committee members. The draft bill is entitled The Future of Digital Assets, providing clarity for the digital asset ecosystem, which was first proposed on June 8th and is expected to be discussed during the upcoming committee hearing on June 13th, which is 4 days away. The bill's latest version proposes the U.S. Fed as the key regulator tasked with formulating requirements for issuing stablecoins. However, at the same time, the bill aims to offer state regulators power to oversee the companies issuing the tokens. The bill further discusses legislation regarding who can issue stablecoins and the requirements of the payment stablecoin. If approved, the bill will be the first comprehensive guidance on the supervision and enforcement of stablecoin markets in the United States. The bill also proposes a 2-year memorandum for collateralized stablecoins from the date of enactment. So if approved by the committee and passed by the U.S. House, then the bill would become the first example of crypto legislation in the United States. Let's go. It's long overdue, wouldn't you say? The latest version also grants some additional authority to the federal regulator compared to the previous version. These powers include the power to intervene against state-regulated issuers in case of an emergency, and states would also be entitled to pass their supervision duties to the federal watchdog if necessary. The previous version of the draft bill, issued on April 24th, focused on stablecoin payments rather than overseeing other aspects of digital asset markets, such as custodial service providers and algorithmic stablecoins. The bill's latest version is more concise and grants specific powers to state legislatures as well. So there you have it. Do you think this is good for crypto as a whole? Let me know your honest thoughts regarding this draft bill, and do you feel it will likely take place? And now for our next breaking story of the day, and that's a potential funds being frozen at Binance. If I had any crypto on the exchanges right now, I would remove it into cold storage as soon as possible. Not just Binance, not just, the top exchange in the world, Coinbase, Crypto.com, all of them. I honestly feel nothing is safe right now. So only keep on the exchanges like what you're willing to keep in the bank, what you're willing to lose at the end of the day. Now let's break this down and then we'll dive into Crypto.com. Binance US announced the suspension of the United States deposits and notified its customers of an incoming pause to fiat withdrawal channels as early as June 13th, which was that like Monday or Tuesday. Now on June 9th, Binance US announced that it was forced to take action amid extremely aggressive and intimidating tactics from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. The firm noted in an effort to protect its customers and platform has suspended USD deposits. And furthermore, Binance US is notifying customers that our banking partners are preparing to pause fiat USD withdrawal channels as early as June 13th, 2023, as they announced here on crypto Twitter. The company added it plans to transition to a crypto-only exchange but maintain a 1-to-1 ratio for customer assets. So let's go. The notice also cautioned that any downtime in processing withdrawals going forward may be the result of elevated volumes and weekend bank closures. Talk about a crypto exchange run, absolutely. So again, get your crypto off the exchanges ASAP. Trading, staking, deposits, and withdrawals in crypto remain fully operational, it confirmed. And as a result of the SEC's ideological campaign against the American digital asset industry, Binance US and its banking partners have faced increasing challenges. Those banking partners have signaled their intent to sever fiat on-ramps on the exchange. Now, US deposit of dollars will be suspended as of June 9th, which is today, and USD trading pairs will be delisted next week, the firm stated. However, it will continue to support Tether USDT trading pairs, and it stated that any USD left on the exchange might be converted into a stablecoin that could be withdrawn on chain. Now, Binance USD listed 8 Bitcoin pairs and 2 BUSD pairs on June 8th, yesterday, noting that the OTC trading portal services were paused. Bitcoin traded at a premium on the US exchange back in early May. The SEC issued an emergency order on June 6th to freeze the assets of Binance US. The following day, the firm reassured customers that assets remain safe, adding that the platform continues to be fully operational, with deposits and withdrawals functioning as normal. Cointelegraph reported on the struggles of Binance US, which they were having securing banking partners back in April. And it's like everything is coming full circle. First it was FTX, now they're attacking Binance. Now, FTX never had a formal lawsuit by the SEC. So why does Binance and Coinbase both have these very interesting lawsuits against them when obviously the baddest actor in the space was Scam Bankman-Fried? He's not only not in jail, there was no lawsuits. So what in the world is going on? It's very fishy and very interesting at the same time. Now, for those of you who have crypto at crypto.com, here's another warning, another alert you should be aware of. Check this out. Crypto.com will no longer serve institutional clients in the US after announcing the suspension of the service from June 21st. The Singapore-based crypto exchange cited limited demand from institutional customers as a primary reason for the move, which has been exacerbated by testing prevailing market conditions. A statement from Crypto.com noted the platform's institutional users were given advance notice of the decision to suspend the service. Crypto.com's retail mobile application and platform remains fully operational at this time in the United States. But what's to tell of the future, right? American retail users still have access to CFTC-regulated crypto derivatives. Interesting that they have access to derivatives trading as well as the up-down options offering, which allow users to open long and short trading positions on future movements of various cryptos. Crypto.com remains open to a potential relaunch of its institutional exchange in the United States. And while it closes the curtain on the U.S. institutional offering, Crypto.com recently received an official major payment institutional license for digital payment token services by the Monetary Authority of Singapore, allowing it to offer its services in the country. June 2023 has proven to be a tumultuous one for crypto exchanges in America, with the SEC setting sights on Binance and Coinbase back-to-back within 24 hours, starting legal proceedings against both the exchanges for a myriad of alleged security law violations. And the wider crypto ecosystem has hit out at the SEC's actions as a U.S. regulatory crackdown on the industry seems to tighten some 8 months from the collapse of FTX. So there you have it. Like I said, nothing is safe right now. So to be safe, remove your crypto from the exchanges or forever hold your peace, as not your keys, not your coins. I know you've heard that one before, especially here on the channel, or as I like to say, not your keys, not your cheese. And now the latest from the SEC chair, Mr. No Clarity Gary, better known as Gary Gensler, calling us hucksters. I've never even heard this term. I had to look it up, which I find hilarious. But nonetheless, in the June 8th speech of the Piper Sandler Global Exchange FinTech Conference, U.S. SEC Commissioner Gary Gensler compared the current crypto market to the 1920s U.S. stock market, saying that it's full of hucksters, fraudsters, and Ponzi schemes. Just as Congress cleaned up the stock market by enacting security laws, the current SEC can also clean up the crypto market by applying these laws, he argued. How many of you watched the clip of Gensler saying that? Let me know in the comments below. It's actually right here, taken off of crypto Twitter. Now, in the talk, Gensler praised the Securities Act of 1933 and Securities Exchange Act of 1934, almost freaking 100 years ago, folks. That's like literally 90 years out, claiming that some of these laws allowed the U.S. security markets to thrive over the next 88 years. He argued that the crypto security markets of today should also benefit from these laws and that they are not less deserving of the protections the laws provide. I would say different time, different world 90 years later. But anyways, pointing to a court ruling against the Telegram Open Network, Gensler argued that crypto asset securities are not exempt from the security laws, even if they have a utility. Quoting him here, some promoters of crypto asset securities contend that their token has a function beyond simply being an investment vehicle, Gensler stated. As the courts in the Telegram case and others have said, however, some additional utility does not remove a crypto asset security from the definition of an investment contract. This means that crypto security exchanges must comply with security laws, including the requirement to separate the exchange, broker-dealer, and clearing functions, Gensler stated. And in his view, this separation helps mitigate the conflicts that can arise with the commingling of such services. Gensler denied that the separation isn't possible, saying that separating these three functions simply requires work. Yeah, that's it. The SEC head argued that the current crypto market is rife with scams and has been arisen because of the industry's lack of compliance with security laws. Now, at some point, doesn't he have to hold himself accountable for the lack of clarity and lack of laws? But nonetheless, here's what he had to say. With wide-ranging non-compliance, frankly, it is not surprising. We've seen many problems in these markets. We have seen this story before. It's reminiscent of what we had in the 1920s before the federal securities laws were put in place. Hucksters, fraudsters, and scam artists. Ponzi schemes. Now, the solution, in Gensler's view, is to make sure that crypto security issuers comply with the law. This is because these scams are more likely to happen in markets who issuers and intermediaries fail to comply with foundational laws. And as the chair of the SEC, Gensler has been heavily criticized within the crypto industry, especially since the SEC filed the lawsuit against crypto exchange Binance and Coinbase this week. Critics have said that an overly expansive view of the SEC's regulatory authority is driving innovation outside of the United States. That's right, it does seem to be this way. So what are your thoughts on No Clarity Gary going after the crypto industry as a whole? It does definitely seem to be an attack against crypto. It seems they're trying to kill it, in my humble opinion. But what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments right down below. The good news is Bitcoin has the green light, because there's absolutely nothing that the regulators, including the CFTC and the SEC, the government, the politicians, the central bankers, all these cartels can do to stop the king crypto, and that's what makes it so special and different from the 25,500 other cryptocurrencies in the market. It's truly decentralized, and it's deemed a commodity, not a security, not in the jurisdiction of Gensler or the CFTC or any of these, organizations. But with that being shared, now for the latest coming from ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood. She was just recently interviewed on Squawk Box and been making the rounds on media about her prediction after now the fact that the crypto regulatory crackdown has began. So here's what she had to say, and then we'll be diving into some live Q&A. And once again, welcome to everyone just tuning in into today's live show. Happy TGIF. Let's get it. So here we go. Shout out to Cathie Wood, by the way. While more or less, according to the SEC chair Gensler, the crypto industry right now looks about as useful as an ashtray on a motorbike or a fourth seamer in the Indian cricket team, none of which this seems to be putting off Cathie Wood. Come to think of it, though, the U.S. crypto industry has proved pretty useful for filing the SEC's coffers in humongous settlement fines, to say the least. ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood, who was at the Morgan Stanley event in Sydney yesterday, is, as you probably well know, a bit of a tech stock loving human headline. In fact, Coinhead is nothing if not first with the secondhand news on what said Wood's headlines. There's a little breakdown of her head-turning, you can't be serious notions that she gifted us with this week. So yeah, she made the rounds on Squawk Box, quoting her here. Our base case Bitcoin price is 600,000 plus, and our bull case is more than 1 million by 2030. In fact, it's 1.5 million or 1.48 to be exact. She says we believe that all of our funds, which have been hurt badly by interest rates going up, are going to benefit by the deflationary ramifications. And she also recently shared that the more uncertainty and volatility that there is in this global economy, the more our confidence increases in Bitcoin. So there you have it. She is still more bullish than ever. She's also been doubling down on her investments on Coinbase after the news of the SEC lawsuit against her. So she is going all out right now. In fact, she says Bitcoin can be an antidote to inflation and counterparty risks. We all know that. to be true. And this is the other interview she did just recently on Binance, Coinbase, and the legal woes. And she is standing by her prediction. So we're a little disappointed in Wood, though. In September of 2021, this is according to the author of this article, FYI, she first went on public with a lofty price prediction. This is the first time she shared it, of 500,000 per Bitcoin. Then in January of 2022, roughly 6 months later, she made her first Bitcoin to $1 million prediction by 2030. And by now, we would have hoped for another doubling down on a 2 million prediction with some random time frame, but nah, a bit like the Fed's likely to do in June, she's hit the pause button. Still, crypto hopium crack pipe addicts won't be too disappointed with her $1 million price prediction within 7 years. In fact, she even breaks down the math on why that is to likely happen. I think it's a matter of time. But let me know what you guys think. They're not all in the same bucket, the CEO noted, emphasizing that she believes that the Binance situation in the U.S. is far more serious than the SEC's Coinbase lawsuit, which she obviously would say, with ARK being a hefty investor in the Coinbase stock. Wood also said that we have competition for Coinbase disappearing, so that's a good thing for the longer term of Coinbase, adding that it was unfortunate that the SEC targeted Coinbase the day after taking action against Binance. And on Tuesday, ARK Invest bought 419,000 shares more of the Coinbase stock, worth about $22 million. Is this bad timing or divine timing? What are your thoughts? Well, it was completed after the news circulated that the SEC filed a complaint against the exchange based around security violations, and after the Coinbase stock had suffered as a result. And lastly, here's what Wood thinks about the inflation arc. She believes the power of AI, artificial intelligence, will turn around inflation and actually bring about deflation within a year. Referring to AI as the greatest innovation of all time, Wood said that AI will be adopted in every area, bringing productivity to industry globally. She said that in this thesis in mind, the central bankers set on hiking interest rates to combat sticky inflation are wrong. The market has been treating this inflation surge as a 70s-like episode that we are in a mess. It is not going away, Wood said at the Morgan Stanley Australian Summit in Sydney on Thursday. And I'll leave you with this. And we have not been looking at this to say no, absolutely not, added Wood, contending that the inflationary pressure in global economy can be put down to a confluence of pandemic and war-related supply chain issues. We are going to see a much different monetary regime going forward, she predicted. Why? Innovation is inherently deflationary. We'll go negative, and then by this time next year, we're all going to be talking about deflation, and the Fed will have not only pivoted, it'll be running in the opposite direction. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Cathie Wood and her $1.5 million price prediction. Something she does have in common with Michael Saylor, besides being obvious big Bitcoin bulls and advocates. As I shared in yesterday's episode, Michael Saylor was discussing AI being one of the fastest disruptors in technology, and he said there is a window of 5 years to seize this opportunity. In fact, he said that the window likely started 6 months ago, talking about artificial intelligence being one of the biggest growers in the space, going from 0 users, talking about ChatGPT, that chatbot of AI, going to roughly 100 million users in less than 2 months. That's a growth of 1,000x in less than 60 days. Pretty big deal. So let me know your likely thoughts. And when do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to hit that $1 million plus target? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, good stuff, fam. And now for some live Q&A. And shout out to everyone here in the live chat. I appreciate each and every one of y'all's support. Digital Dankness, what's good, fam? Megadon, Mike Well, Mark Thomas, Bitcoin Trini, Jeff S., what is poppin'? Happy TGIF. Lawrence Abramoff, good to see you again. Merlande, good afternoon and welcome. Appreciate you tuning in. Jeff S., Jeremy Amos, Maximus, what's poppin'? And I'm going to start to the very top. Yeah, hot day here in Puerto Rico. I appreciate you guys asking, but it is beautiful. The sun is out. It's probably 90 degrees. Feels like 100 due to the humidity and just hotness out there, the sun index as they call it. Hey guys, I got to ask Alejandro, El Salvador's National Security Advisor, about legal cannabis on his Simply Bitcoin IRL show 2 days ago. It was the end of the show. Good to hear that, stat-wise. I think if they adopted cannabis as medicine for medicinal purposes, that would be obviously great. For those who enjoy medical cannabis, I know I enjoy it here in Puerto Rico, and I'm a big fan of it. I much prefer to take advantage of a plant that God gave us versus chemicals and drugs that the pharmaceutical companies are going to prescribe to you. You know what I mean? So much love and much respect. And I did see you sent me a tweet with that the question that you asked in the show. So I'll make sure to check that out. And I appreciate you bringing it up. That's right. It's God's plan. You should hear it from him. He has tried to get Bukele to back it with no success, but he said he will keep trying. Absolutely check that out, fam. He saw me ask the question in the chat, and when the host was wrapping up, he asked the host to ask him my chat question, which was cool. Yeah, much respect. That is awesome. Well, medical should be for sure. Recreational is a choice if they want to tax it and make money off of it. Those that have a medical need for it should already have it, in my opinion. I agree with Digital Dankness there 100%. Here in Puerto Rico, you just get your medical license. It's very simple to do. You go see a doctor, you get a prescription, and boom, you just go to the dispensary. There's literally a dispensary on every corner. It's booming here. They're always busy as well. So that's one of the industries that has been thriving, to say the least. So I think that would also bring a lot of capital and investors into El Salvador as well, if that were to take place. You know what I mean? So one in California, I thought they had Star Wars. You're referring to Disney World. There's Disneyland and Disney World, if I'm not mistaken. Disney World is in Cali. Disneyland is in Florida. And there's also a Disney in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe also in Paris or somewhere in France. You know what I mean? There's Disneys all around the world. I was at Star Wars with a full-scale Millennium Falcon. Well, that's what's up. Do your thing. Do you make your own saber? I actually have lightsabers I invested in probably like 10 years ago. They're like several $100s per saber because they're battle tested. You can actually fight full out with them. Very high quality stuff. And I geek out when it comes to sword fighting. So you already know. Good to hear I'm not alone. Hey, JV and Crypto News Alerts fam. How's everyone doing today? Good to see you, Maximus. What's poppin'? What's new? What's good? Anything exciting going down this weekend? Please do let me know. I didn't make a lightsaber. The quality compared to the price was not there for me. I did fly the Falcon, though, and that was fun. That's what's up. Mike says I'm being block censored by YouTube. Sorry to hear that. I'm curious, what type of topics are you talking about that's getting them to ghost you or block you or censor you? Sorry to hear that, but unfortunately, YouTube is one of the most censored platforms in social media alongside Facebook, Instagram, etc., etc., etc. I scored some sweet Star Wars pins. Well, that's what's up. Congratulations. Dankness says I own a saber, has dueling sabers, some rugged qualities. We might have amongst the same ones because I love dueling with them here personally. I have not been happy with the gay pride rainbow-ish everywhere in the stores. Are you referring to in Disney or where in particular? But it's just the way the world is allegedly spinning. I don't think we're actually spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. But that's another topic for another day. But yeah, when I went to the Bitcoin conference last year in Miami, there was a massive gay pride flag. And I would say half the people there were probably gay in the entire city that I experienced. And I was like, and nothing against gay people whatsoever. Just pointing out the obvious, just as you are. It seems the world is adopting and encouraging young people to become either transgender, have an identity crisis, not know who they are, get some surgeries and things of this nature. I think it's horrific to convince a young person that they're somebody else than what they physically appear to be. You know what I mean? For like a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old to get a surgery to turn into another gender, that doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? And I became aware of this agenda 15 years ago. I started studying, esoteric things and things of this nature, hidden truths and such. And I became aware of the transgender agenda literally 15 years ago and started talking about it, sharing it with people because the writing is on the wall. And here we are now in 2023. Yeah, it's getting worse and worse. Kind of sad. They are part of this agenda, pushing little kids to mutilate their bodies. That's right, and denounce God's plans. I think it is very satanic, 100% anti-God. I don't think God intended for us little boys or girls to turn into the opposite gender. You know what I mean? Makes no sense to me. But this entire world is starting to make no sense. The only thing making sense is Bitcoin. You feel me? I ran into a couple of Pat-type employees That too. Hello, hello, fam. Been here long. Word up, word up. Yeah, it's more like Sin Pride. Is it just me, or is Lightning not available in Australia? That would drastically suck. But how would they prevent someone from using the Lightning Network? Maybe a platform such as Strike. Not allowed, but I don't see how you still can't use it regardless. You just need to use a platform which I guess would be supported in your territory, would be my thinking. My deposit went through on Strike, but not recognizing JV's donation box, says Jeff. Very interesting. Is that trying to do it through scanning the QR, or is that directly using my address listed in the description? Do let me know. The last donation I received was from Satwise on the 5th, which was 4 days ago. That was the last one that came in, just FYI. Hi, caught up on the videos. The guy from yesterday got a point. The SEC has no one left to sue. Sucks to be them. I also think they're suppressing the prices for the next Wednesday release of the Hinman docs. It does seem to be that way, and they're probably going to throw Hinman now under the bus. They already started to make some adjustments online to this dude, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Another orchestrated attack, if you're to ask me. The SEC apparently removed Bill Hillman's bio from their website. That's what I was talking about. I saw that on Crypto Twitter. Do you think that's a coincidence? I think not. I'll tell you this, each and every day that goes by, I believe less and less of coincidences, because ultimately everything is planned well in advance. Says the person who applied to work at Binance. Yeah, Gary Gensler saying that all crypto is hucksters, fraudsters, and scam artists. And for those that didn't see that story, ultimately, CZ, the Binance lawyers, came out and said back in 2019, Gary allegedly tried to apply for a position with Binance, and maybe it got turned down. Who really knows what happened, but very interesting to say the least. Did he sign off on the Coinbase IPO? Sure does seem he must have, right? Because it went live. That was back in 2021. Gensler has no cred. Mr. No Claire Gare. How dare he call crypto hucksters? Yeah. What's up with that? Trying to find the lie, though. Who's a good person with the altcoin machine? Let's roll. I hope there will be a pump when Ripple wins their case. Rumors or settlement announcement on Wednesday. That would be massive victory for the entire crypto industry as a whole, but we shall soon see. I don't know how this will likely play out, but it seems good that the SEC did not list XRP as a security in the recent Binance and Coinbase lawsuits. If that would have been listed as a security, it would give us some insights behind this potential ruling. So it leads me to believe that potentially XRP may be deemed a bridge currency. It may be deemed, multiple things depending upon how it's being used, etc. So we'll soon see. JV, if No Clarity Gare Bear is claiming those things are kettling, calling a pot black, take the one who takes one to know one, or is it a deflection where he's saying that because he's the fraudster? He's saying it because he represents very powerful elite people that are trying to destroy crypto. That's what it is. He works for the central banking cartel who has been trying to destroy crypto since the inception of crypto. They cannot destroy Bitcoin. They cannot stop Bitcoin. The next best thing to do, attack every major exchange, right? Make people scared, make people sell their crypto, cause mass panic so it can suppress the price action so that the regulators can win. You know what I mean? That's what they're trying to do, if you're to ask me. But that's my 2 Satoshis. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments. TGIF fam, TGIF Jeremy, much love. Let's freaking go JV. Appreciate the support, Maximus. Lawrence says Ripple acquired something for 250 mil, or someone for 250 million. You don't do that unless you know what the penalty is, or you would have already settled. Great point. And I think we've heard Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple Labs, come out and say that this lawsuit is likely to cost them anywhere from $250,000 to $1 billion. So thank God for their war chest being able to even battle the SEC. Also, I heard rumors that Binance has $1 billion dedicated to this lawsuit as well, which gives them enough money to hire virtually every single lawyer in the United States that would ever possibly be needed to battle this. So there is no short of funds to do battle with the SEC when it comes to the top exchanges because they're so profitable and worth so much money. The sad part is when you have the smaller companies like the library, they don't have money to defend themselves. So it's almost like a death wish. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a kamikaze pilot who knows they're not going to return if you're a smaller company. But Coinbase, Binance, XRP, they have the war chest to go to war with the SEC. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, fam. Happy early birthday, Jeff. Everyone wish Jeff S. a happy birthday. His birthday is in 10 more days. That would mean June 19th. Much love, much respect. Yeah, he's mad about something, Lawrence. How does a commodity acquire something? Says Dan. Don't let them sell you lies. Buy the cheap sats and watch them continue to attack and fail. Bitcoin is still doing Bitcoin. That's right. And I remind you, 1 Bitcoin is still equivalent to 1 Bitcoin. Price hasn't changed there. XRP is the commodity, says Lawrence. We'll be getting me 3 coins soon. Are you referring to Bitcoin there, Marilyn? Let me know. Marilyn, I wouldn't be telling people your bag size. Keep your crypto safe. Sage advice, I suggest the same. Regardless of how much crypto you hold, probably in your best interest to not reveal it. You don't want the hucksters and the fraudsters and the scam artists to attack you, do you? Yeah. You can buy shares in Ripple. So yes, Dan, not anymore though. They got plenty of money. That's right. Australia's largest bank now limiting transfers to the exchanges. Banks can go you know where. 10,000 a month. Is this a joke? I am sure the tax office are really happy with them. Will be a lot more scheming now. It's sad to hear that. I also shared news yesterday that Wells Fargo, one of the largest banks in the United States, limited their withdrawals of cash to $1,000 per branch, which is virtually nothing in today's day and age. So if you had, hypothetically speaking, $250,000 in your Wells Fargo bank account and you said, I need $10,000 for XYZ emergency, unfortunately, you're only going to get 1,000 out per day. So it may take you 10 days to achieve that. Also consider they're closed on the weekends, so only 5 business days per week. Also consider if there was a holiday, that's 1 less business week for the week or business day. You know what I mean? So yeah, banks are getting very sketchy to say the least. Give Nipsey a pet for me, 100%. You got it, Dankness. He is the official mascot of Crypto News Alerts. You are roundabout making crypto illegal to buy. Bad Binance. Dankness says, I'm stuck with my Matic and DOT for 17 days on crypto.com for earning, but earning else in a cold wallet. Just be careful because we now know, according to the regulators in the SEC, they're deeming Matic / Polygon as a security. And you don't know how this is going to play out, because if all the exchanges deemed it a security and they follow the regulatory guidelines of the SEC, then they may delist those alleged securities, and then you may not be able to sell them, or the prices can obviously crash if everyone's dumping them at the same time. It's kind of sad because I recognize Polygon Matic as a legitimate layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum. But as the SEC said in their own words, Gary, even if it has utility, it can still be deemed a security. So it seems, you know what I mean? If it was up to the SEC and Gary Gensler, 99.9% of cryptos would be deemed securities. In fact, maybe all of them minus Bitcoin. That's what we're up against, right now. So it is what it is. New time slot for the live show. Not necessarily. It's when I don't wake up as early. It depends on the day. Some days I get to see my daughter very early and I got to go pick her up. So I wake up 7 a.m. So I do the show at 12 p.m. You know what I mean? Get everything ready and good to go. But sometimes I wake up a little later. So there's no definitive time slot. That's the importance of making sure you're not only subscribed to the channel, but that you have all the notifications turned on and you ring that bell. That way you get notified each and every day that I go live and you don't, miss out. So yeah. Hopefully this end up with the Supreme Court and stops the harassment. Yeah, I mean, the Supreme Court, obviously, it's not a kangaroo court, and I think it's better suited for the people of crypto, whereas the lower courts are kind of just going to side in the favor of the SEC is what it seems like. So I think if we're to have a fair trial, ultimately something needs to go to the Supreme Court so that, the SEC gets held accountable for their actions and they can't just get away with anything they want to do. Gensler looks like a crooked fool. Meanwhile, Joe keeps falling over. Exactly. What's going on, Bitcoin Srini? It is good to see you. 100%. Much love and much respect. Jeff says the SEC has thousands of ish coins they could have focused on. Why name some of the top 100 cryptos? I think they went to CoinMarketCap and they just looked by market cap and they just selected the largest cryptos by market cap and said, hey, all these we think are securities. Obviously, the bigger they are, the more money they could, confiscate or steal unlawfully from these cryptocurrencies. You know what I mean? But yeah, it is interesting. 100%. Very interesting. Why'd they go after the top exchanges in the world, not the lower ones who are in violation of a lot of these laws? You know what I mean? They want to go after the big fish. Start from the top. Make an example. Work your way down, is my opinion. Do you know how El Salvador holds their Bitcoin? Great question, Dan. I don't know. If you have any insights, please do enlighten me. I would imagine it's in cold storage, but who holds the private keys? I have no clue. So that's actually an excellent question. When the dollar crashes, the government will overcorrect, causing the greatest depression. She has a point, 100%. I mean, I think Cathie Wood is obviously very, very smart, or she wouldn't be in the position she is in. She wouldn't be the CEO of ARK. She wouldn't have been, profiting so much off of Apple and Coinbase and all of these, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all her investments. So I respect her at the end of the day. I think she is very smart, ahead of her time, and she's also making rounds in the media, which a lot of influencers refuse to do. So she is very vocal. It makes me trust her and believe her, that much more. So we'll see. Better late than never, says LFC Liverpool. Happy Friday. Tony Jeffries in the building. Much love to Liverpool and the UK. Appreciate you tuning in, fam, as always. Yes, in Disney. F Disney, says Trini. Scanning the code says not a valid address. Interesting. It is good to note, Jeff. I don't know. Maybe the world's against me today. Using the Strike app. Weird. Very weird. That was tried to the post and got blocked. Is Ledger a safe place to keep your Bitcoin? Why or why not? Great question, Sterling Q. Let's discuss it. As I covered in the show approximately a week ago, we had the CEO of Ledger come out, and he was pressed in a podcast question. And they asked him, if the government requested you to turn over the private keys of your customers, would you do so? And they said, if it was a request from the government, we have to. Yes, we would. So they have a new technology they planned on releasing. I think it got pushed back due to all the controversy. And it's private key sharding, where it takes your 24-word key phrase, divides it by 3, and then they send it to 3 different entities. And in order to get this private key phrase, you would have to get it from all of them. So it's less likely to be hacked. But the bigger concern is that the government, if they requested it, Ledger says they're willing to hand it over to them. That's not a good look. So just because of that comment, I no longer trust Ledger, at all. And also, you got to keep in mind that, they speak at the World Economic Forum events, the CEO of Ledger. So I don't trust the World Economic Forum. I don't really trust anyone they're partnered with. And it even goes for Vitalik and like Ethereum. You know what I mean? It's kind of sad, but I just don't trust them at all. And if you do some research in the World Economic Forum, you'll maybe understand why I say that. So with that being shared, I feel more comfortable and secure using Trezor. That was, I think, the first hard wallet I ever picked up. And they've been around for years. They're open source. Their CEO has never came out and said, we'll share your private keys with government agencies if they request it. So that makes me feel a lot better. You know what I mean? However, there's a lot of different solutions now for cold storage wallets. So not just the Trezor, there's another dozen viable options available right now. So let me know in the chat, which hard wallet do you suggest and recommend? Number 1, let me know, and I'll read these out loud. Solana is going to go down, 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 down. JV, living a good life. You already know, fam. Yeah, Kerry doesn't want this to go in the European court. He'll get spanked then. Yeah. Probably. Sophisticated says, yo, what's up, Sophisticated? Phil C. Vitalik said his views are more aligned with the elite than the common people. Exactly. Another reason I don't trust Vitalik. I stopped trusting him a very long time ago. It's kind of scary. You know what I mean? He's definitely an interesting fella. And also, he hasn't been so vocal, as of late, which makes me question things as well. Like, do they know something we don't know? Since they switched their entire protocol from proof of work to proof of stake, things have been a mystery, to say the least. Biggest thing that comes to my mind when I think of Ethereum is what's the supply cap? Can anyone answer that question? Has anyone ever answered that question with a definitive answer? What's the supply cap of Ethereum? You know what I mean? And if you don't know what the supply cap is that transparency? Is that a good look if they can just add another trillion to the supply because they want to? That's not a good look. So makes me really question the motives behind them and the agencies they're working with. Whereas I fully trust Bitcoin because it's decentralized. No one can change the protocol. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. TikTok next block. Nothing is going to change. It's going to continue to do what it does. You know what I mean? And be the ultimate pristine collateral and also a hedge against hyperinflation. Digital gold 2.0 is borderless. You can travel with it. It's unconfiscatable. It's uncorruptible. It has all the properties that gold has that makes gold great without the cons of gold, such as being, trying to travel with it. Divisibility, one Bitcoin can be divided by 100 million Satoshis, and things of this nature. Really makes it the clear-cut winner. ETH is an unlimited cap. Is it like Doge? They can have trillions of Ethereum? Makes me wonder, why isn't that recognized, and why isn't that a concern amongst anyone holding Ethereum? That concerns me, especially when you start comparing Ethereum to a store of value. How can any cryptocurrency act as a store of value if there is no definitive supply cap? Legitimate question. If anyone can answer that, that helped me tremendously. That's why I don't think Ethereum can be compared to Bitcoin whatsoever. Two completely separate technologies, two completely different cases. You know what I mean? So I don't see Ethereum being gold 2.0. I don't even see it being in that same category. The people in crypto are like children, says Griggs. Word up. People in general are like children, I would say. Good question to ask Vitalik. Has he ever answered it? And what is his answer? If I had him on the show right now, I say, Vitalik, what is the supply cap of Ethereum? What would his answer be? Would he just give me some mathematical formulas on why he can't calculate it? Is it to be determined by the World Economic Forum? What's good? Is Sleepy Joe Biden going to tell us how many Ethereum there could be? Is Gary Gensler going to tell us what's going on? You know what I mean? He doesn't want, it seems this way. He said sharding. Damn it, Beavis. Hilarious. Thank you. Very helpful, JV. We all appreciate your insights. Peace, peace, peace. You're very welcome, Sterling Q. Excellent question. Appreciate you asking. You know what I mean? Good question to ask Vitalik. Yeah, maybe we should all ask him on Twitter and tag him. And hey, Vitalik, what is the supply cap of Ethereum? And let's see if we can get an answer out of him. You know what I mean? And with that being shared, fam, now for a recap of what I covered with you here in today's live show. I broke down the latest technical analysis. We also discussed the Bitcoin price can gain 60%, hitting $40,000 per coin if this textbook chart pattern confirms, which I broke down for you. We also discussed breaking news of the U.S. House Committee releasing a new stablecoin bill draft, which could become the first example of crypto legislation in the United States. Also shared breaking news. Binance US suspends USD deposits and warns of a fiat withdrawal pause. We also discussed breaking news coming off of crypto.com suspending U.S. institutional exchange service, and another reminder to take your crypto off the exchanges. We also discussed Gary Gensler says the crypto market is like the 1920 stock market, full of fraudsters and hucksters. Also in today's show, we discussed the latest from Cathie Wood. She says bring on the uncertainty and still predicts a $1.5 million Bitcoin price by 2030 with the base case for the King crypto being $600,000. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below. Enjoy.